Okay. Okay, here we go. So, today's to do. First job today. Figure out what we're going to do. Let's add some text. A little today's to do. So, one, open up the project. Just get the project open. One, convert. That looks very blue, the light. That maybe better? I don't know. How that maybe. Convert to 3 dice system. Always spawn 3. Have choice be a percentage chance rather than a fixed roll amount. C, nothing. Convert the 3 dice system. Then lock, unlock buttons based on unlock buttons. So dice roll, choice. So the choice button should lock the first time you roll a dice. The dice roll should lock once you finish rolling the dice. Cool. Then 3, show dice result and end choice properly. Implement basic story event system. Okay. That's today's to do. Actually, we're probably going to get here. Let's do these 3 today. So let's copy and paste these onto the stream so people can see what we're doing. Just add a quick source, a quick text, add source, new, to do. And we'll use our and do a quick background and then just reduce our font size way down. But also oh yeah, I should have done this on text editor because now it's all messed up. Okay, let's just quickly notepad. Today, convert to 3D system. Voice 1.3. Percentage chance over roll required. Lock, unlock buttons, dice roll, choice. Okay, that's much more. Show dice result and end choice. Let me say properly. Convert that to a plus and end choice. Nice, way more simple. There we go. Done. And that should be fine. Put that down there also. Up there, up there's fine. Cool. Great, let's get on with it then. So at the moment, what are we doing? At the moment, you can interact with a thing. You have the dice roll, and you roll 1 dice at a time, like that. I think I don't mind rolling one dice at a time. I'm also thinking about, with the rolling one at a time, let's leave them as just physical objects for a moment. Yeah. So, in our interaction UI, the first thing we need to do is, with our dice, position die, this calculation for minimum fair roll is no longer important. This should now just be spawn 3 dice. So if we just change this to make literal int to 3, and we say required roll is actually chance, question mark. You can get rid of this maths. Convert it to just a 3 dice system. Everything else should work just fine. And we'll take rid of this for the moment as well. And on selected choice, in the choice UI, when we do our selected choice, required roll should actually be called P purse chance. And calculate odds in this choice data is going to be in blueprints. ST choice is, rather than required roll, we're going to say chance. And maybe we should add a tooltip. Percentage chance 0 to 100. Cool. This is probably going to break some things, but that's fine. Percentage chance, interaction, and what else? VPI interactable. This is all fine. This, oh, I was in fucking pi, that's probably not great. This is now going to have a, rather than required roll, let's do like a 80% chance of success. Wait, why is it still saying required roll? Have we not updated this to say chance? We do like, maybe if we reload the level. Oh god, no, that's not. If we do UFO base, double prototyping, put down. We reload the level, save everything. It still says required roll on there. If we look at BP interactable. Is that because this is called? Still saying required roll, but we've changed the struct, haven't we? ST choice. ST choice is now saying this should be called chance, not required roll. So maybe now it's updated? Oh yeah, there we go. Updated now. Compile save. This one, chance 80%. Cool. Can you use a percent symbol in a name? Chance percent? Is that allowed? I don't know if that's allowed. Save. Go back to there and there. Can I change this to percentage chance? I can. That's probably bad programming using percent symbol for that. So now when we have our added roll, set added roll. So add to roll, finish dice roll. This is no longer correct. It's not just a simple, is it bigger than this? What it should say is added roll just so I don't get this wrong because I'm stupid. 6 times 3. Is that the highest roll? 3d6 is greater than 18. No. So we've got a selected choice percentage chance. What we need to figure out is the required, what's the percentage chance of getting? So let's do some maths. So if we have a 50% with 3d6, which gives us a total of 18 points, then we need at least a 9. But that's not right, because dice roll and their percentages. Let's talk about ChatGPT. ChatGPT was helping me yesterday with okay, probability of rolling. I think it was in this one. Yeah, so if I have 3 standard d6 die, what's the sum of the dice at 50% chance? Question mark. $11 or higher. What's the highest roll with those dice? But some... So the possible sums range from... $11 plus gives you exactly 50% chance. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, I was correct. No, I wasn't correct. 11 is 11p, 50%. Give me the percentage chance as a list of all possible sum values. Yeah, cumulative chance 10 or higher is the game system. Does that make sense? Yeah. Cumulative chance 11 plus is 50%. 18.46. Yeah, I don't need anything more drastic than that. Yeah, I like this more. I do like this more. Like, most rolls will be about like between 9 and 8 required roll. So how does this maths work? So what do I need the maths to do, actually? Let's first have to figure that out. So what I need the maths to do is figure out, based on a percentage chance, what is the cumulative roll of those things. What's the maths for calculating the required cumulative roll for a given percentage? So T roll greater or equal than T. Oh, n is in other ways. What does this mean? This doesn't make any sense to me. But P is a desired probability as a decimal. Oh. This math is more complicated than I was expecting. Total successful outcomes 35. No. If I have a percent I dot a given a desired 25% chance of success, what is the formula for calculating the required sum of the dice? Cumulative probability is a step function, not something you can algebraically invert. So to find t from the probability, you must solve, in plain English, the cumulative probabilities every possible target. Choose the smallest target whose cumulative probability is at least your desired probability. So success chance, then target 18. This math is already hurting my brain. Let's just figure it out our own way. So we've got the percentage chance. And we have so windy now. Do I have some way to hold this in place? I don't know. Honestly, the breeze is real nice on the in the heat. So let's say we have our percentage chance. P is our percent. And then we have, so P percentage chance. Let's see if we can figure out this calculation. So the equation n, what's n? Am I just dumb? Okay. So what's the calculation with explanation for every letter symbol that gives me the So are these just hard-coded numbers then? Is this just a list of numbers? Do I just make an array of this sum, this chance, this sum, this chance? I don't like that, but maybe that is just the way it happens. Oh, I don't like that at all. But it's non-linear, so they're discrete values. So maybe just a 2 vector is the way to do it. Let's do this chances. And then we'll do a vector 2D. And so this will just be a series of numbers. I need 18 of them. And it's an array. Chances. Default. What? How do I? Why can't I have an array of? Array. Why is this not working? Am I just? Oh, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 18. So for the moment, let's just copy these values into it. So the chance of a which way do I want to cycle through them? From bottom to top. So the first time one is over the percentage chance. So for 18, we have for a chance of 18 is a 0.46%. 17 is 1.85. 16 is 4.63. 15 is 9.26. 14 is 16.20. 13 is 25.93. 1312 is 37.5. 11 is about 50% chance. 10 is 62.5. 9 is 74.07. 8 is 83.8. 7 is 90.74. 6 is 95.37. And 5 is 98.15. 4 is 99.54. 3 is 100. And then we can delete these last two because you can't roll a 1 or those. So is this the way we should do it? Or should we do it as a list of integers and just have it as the value? That means we'd have a few extra. No, this is a better system, I think, with the two vector. It's a clearer system, I think. So we have these chances, and we have our vector 3. So when we do finish dice roll, is this actually where we want to do it? Added roll. Let's do it on finish dice roll. Yeah, sure. We have our chances for each loop. And what we'll do is on completed, we'll do this. But what we need to do first is go through each of our chances and break or split. So X is our value and Y is our percent. So for each of these, say, is this greater? So is this greater or equal than the added dice roll? And bool, is this greater or equal than the required chance? Then say, okay, next for each loop with break. Performance, split, move this down here, move this down here, and move this down here, delete this, put this up here. If this is true, then maybe we want to involve the possibility of like a critical chance of something. No, because that basically makes another outcome for every possible choice, which is too much design work and development work and all work. So that, like that, like that. And we should also probably make a local variable of successful roll, question mark, boolean, not an array. We don't need to know this. This should be break, not execute. This will be execute. And it will go through the chances. So let's try to roll. Finished, yes. The choice that we finished was this one. And was the roll successful? Is this. So this now is not a good print string. The print string should happen at the actual end. It should say title of the choice, and if it was successful, this way. And what we should do here also is print out our no, let's not print out anything here, let's just leave it as it is for the moment. So if we say we have a new interaction and we always spawn 3 die, what we can probably do if we're always spawning 3 die is have these positions custom coded so these dice never overlap. Because the moment this can happen, which is kind of ugly. But the first roll, which is a 3. Next roll, which is a 1. And another roll, which is a 4. So choose wisely false. Choose wisely false. Chances. I thought it was over 8. So let's figure this out. So let's also add a print string here, which says our yeah, let's do a print string here, which is append, which is going to be our array element and our added roll with space dash space and another 3, which is our this comma space percentage chance. Let's see now. Roll, roll, roll. Our added roll, not very high. I need these to, oh, I can just look in the output log. What am I doing? So let's go all the way down to the bottom. So we've got our output log of things. So it says choose wisely false. So I didn't succeed it, but my roll was a 9. Have I just done and 8? So 9 is bigger than 8, and 83. 8 is big. Have I just done the maths wrong? Interaction. If I just put all this out of the way somehow. So if 8... No, I've done this just the wrong way around. So if this is greater or equal than... Yeah. I just did these the wrong way around. That's all. And percentage and the... If this added roll is greater or equal than this, and the chance of that roll is greater or equal than the required chance, then we pass. I managed to roll something off the frickin' page. So this time, choose wisely was false, but I rolled a 14. So 15 is greater than 14. Uh, 15. Let's just... So we've got our... The roll was 14. The required roll was a 8. So is 14 bigger than 8? So added roll 14. Are you bigger than this one? Yes. And then why there? Oh, it's just because they overlapped. Okay, cool. So the added roll should be first. So added roll is greater than this, and then the required roll is greater than the chance, or the required roll chance is greater than the chance. So why is that coming back false? Come on, dice, go roll, do your thing, land. That's bigger than 8. But it says choose wisely false. So 11 is greater or equal than 11. And 80. And is 80 greater than... No. So there is something wrong in the maths here. Have I just done another thing the wrong way around? I think I have. Is it just that this should be greater or equal than this? This should be greater or equal than this. So this one should be a false. So that's correct. Choose wisely false. 6 is not bigger than this. And so this is... that is bigger than that. So 6 is greater than or equal to 6. but 80 is not greater or equal to 95, so therefore it doesn't work. So if I do the interaction again, roll my 3 dice, hopefully we get more than something. Yeah, so here it did finish because 14 is greater or equal to 14, and so our total roll. What am I doing? Things have gone horribly wrong. So chances. The chance for a 14 is 16%. Is AI just wrong? $14 or above is a 16% chance. So if my added roll is greater or equal to 14, and the required chance is greater or equal . This is... I don't like this at all. Let's just take this whole section. This whole calculation I don't think is the right way to go about it. I think what we should have is instead a int array, not an int array, a float array of all those chances. So if we go through our chances list and give this as a array of floats, I'll just copy them across quickly. So 0 is 100% chance. 1 is 100% chance. 2, 3 is all 100% chance. And then 4 is 99.54. Need 18 of these. So 4, 5, 98.15, 95.37, 95.37, 90.74, 83.8, 83.8, 74.07, 74.07, 07, 62.50, 50, 37.37, 37.50 even. 25.93, 16.20, 9.26, 9.26, 4.63. Wait, have I missed one? 0. Because I need the number 18. So I need to look up an index. 4.63, 1.85, 0.46. Because although I've got like 4 here that are all 100% chance, and I want the index array to be correct. So if I just do this float array, and we'll name this chances floats. Oh, did I? Oh, I haven't lost it. Okay, good. So if we find or get a ref to index. So if we get our added role, if we just find added role, and if our added role, if this is less than or equal to the required chance, then set successful role to just this, straight up. And what we'll do is we will print string with another big append of just the required chance is less than or equal to this. So now, if we do our 3 rolls, we've got 80% chance. So if it is 0. Wait, what did I roll? Did I roll 0.46? Did I roll perfect sixes? Don't tell me I roll perfect sixes. I wasn't watching. I want to watch. Let me see the VAR. Did I roll perfect sixes on my test? No shot. Go to channel. Let's see if I can. Wait, what did I roll? 3 rolls. Did I roll perfect sixes? So if it is... Of course I roll perfect sixes. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, good job, me. Alright. So, but that time it worked. And so then I roll something else that isn't perfect sixes. So I rolled a 6, which has a 95% chance, which is not, which is less, which is greater than, which is not less than that. So it didn't. So choose wisely failed. Okay, that's so much simpler. I don't know why I tried to do that big fucking 2-vector array. So that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. This is a much simpler system, so we can delete this print string now. Great. So now we've got. We don't actually need this successful role anymore, really. We can just plug this straight in. There's also, this is a function actually we can't do that. So off of here, we'll just do end interaction. A successful role, we'll just plug in this. So end interaction, widget blueprint interaction. So in here now, we are getting our calling actor doing that, and we haven't got any dispatches yet. So end interaction. So let's review our to-do list. So convert to 3 system device, done. Make this bigger and red. Done that. Always spawn 3, a percentage chance rather than the amount. Okay, so now let's do this part. So let's lock and unlock our buttons at the right time, so the interaction functions properly. And maybe I'll even add like button animations or something, just to make it all look a little bit nicer. For like a highlight button functionality or something. Or do I want to make my base button class now? Is it time? Is it time? Probably not. Okay. I should also probably try today and make the dice roll area, because I have to say that is pretty irritating, having the dice rolling off screen. Yeah, we will consider that. Choose wisely. Roll our 3 dice. This roll button should not be clickable anymore. 5, 6, 7 is a fail. Great. My little cube's doing his thing. I don't like the anti-aliasing. Looks really bad. Well, we can deal with graphics and things later on. That's not a right now issue. Is the sphere affecting navigation? Is that the issue? If we grab our interact overlap and make this huge. No, it doesn't affect navigation. Cool. We can make it one bigger though. Oop. Now, a bit further away. I don't like that actually. That's ugly. Ugly. She ugly. She ugly. BPI interact. So on our widget blueprint interactable, we've got the roll button and the choice buttons. So firstly, on our test choice here, let's add a second choice, which is choice A and choice B. So we have choice A is going to have story event choice A, choice B. Choice A will be test choice A, test choice B. Percentage chance of this one is going to be 50%, and this one's going to be 90%. Use item class none. Oh, have we got a is our ST choice using a different default? What's the default? Advanced? I don't know what default to be currency. I want default to be none. Interact object. Add another choice here. Why is it still currency? That's going to get annoying. Maybe on here, here maybe? Use item class. Value range. Nope. Maybe if I just switch this to Boolean and then save and then use item class. Okay, and just recompile, save this. Everything will probably break. If I add a new one, item class is none. Great. File save. Close all this down. Oi. Is it going to crash? No, we're just freezing. We're freezing. Save everything. Check that everything still works. Choice A, choice B. Roll. So the first thing we need to do on our choice, because we have not actually finished the first point of changing it to a 3-dice system, because at the moment our percentage chance is going straight into a string. So we need to go interaction widget, get chances floats. We can also on our interaction widget now delete this chances thing, delete all this complicated crap that wasn't working. It's always the complicated crap that doesn't work. Actually, that's a lie. Normally the simple stuff doesn't work. I'll save. Change this to chances. Compile, save. So if we take our chances and do a for each loop with break, if we for each of these So our chances are formatted like this. So we want to find the last index that is still greater than this. So what we're going to do is not do a break and just do a for each loop. For each of these, we'll make a new variable which can be called promote to variable, which is required role. And our chance, we'll do a to float. And we'll just say branch off of completed. Oh no, we don't need this. We'll get our percentage chance. We'll say if this is true, set required role text to the index of this. And if this is greater or equal to percentage chance, then say it's that. And we didn't ever hook up this actual whole thing, so it doesn't work. So we have a required roll of 7. Choice B. And then what we'll do also is we will just make it simple. We'll just do a required roll append roll 7. Compile save. This choice at the moment is desired like this. And on our interaction widget, this horizontal box of things is just filling up this size box, which is saying that's the button. Vertical box choices is currently nothing. So with our choice button, can we do padding? If we say normal padding is 10. Nope, that doesn't work. Choice 2. What if we... What's going to be the best way to do that? So HB choices. Is it just that that's too big? Interaction. Maybe this should actually be replaced with grid panel. Yes. This is a very probably bad idea. But for each of these, what's our errors? So add child, So it should be a grid panel, right? Yeah. Grid choices. Grid. Slotters grid slot. Add child. Add child. Set grid. Set. How do you set the where on the grid the thing is? Column fill. No, my fan just run out of battery. Quick, plug it in. Oh, help me. Come on, fan. Don't be doing that today. There we go. Back in business. Slot. It's not slot as set widget. Is it that? Set widget slot. Set widget slot. No, this is not it. I need to figure out, like, there should be a way to assign a spawned widget to a position in the grid slot. Because I want to do like a grid system. I think that'd be better. Because if I like add, let's just get some images just to test. If I just add like a few images to this grid panel. Because, or is it just set row column? Set row. Set row. Add child. Why is it saying add child to horizontal box? Let's just, maybe this is why it's not working. Row. Add child. Oh, that's why it's not working, just because I hadn't recreated it. Is this a construction event? So what we should actually do is collapse this to a function. Collapse to function, which is fill choices grid. And for each of these, we do that, and we'll say to the choices grid where to put it. So we'll start at 0, 0. Let's make some local variables, which is current row, current column, and integer, and integer. So we'll get current row, current column, and we'll just say do this and this. So it'll be 0, 0, and then we will find these and say if current column is greater than something, greater than 1, true. So current column false, current column increment int. If current column is greater than 1, set column, set current column to 0, and get our current row and increment. So this is basically going to go dung, 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 all the way down. Maybe we should say also, what am I doing? I'm currently working on my UI for my dice thing, which I'll show you in just 1 second because I think it's working now. So if we now play and interact with this thing, yes, this works. So it's now spawned our choices in these nice places, and this is now a grid panel. Thanks, PugV2. So now we can roll our 3 dice, and we'll see our result. Now what I need to do is start locking these buttons in place. So this requires an 11, and we start locking them in place and start giving some feedback to the player if it's worked or gone wrong or whatever. Great. You just woke up. 1:48 PM. Yeah, that's tough. Been awake for a while. Although I woke up alright. It's only 9 AM I woke up. So this is working. So now, can we set like grid? Oh, this image can also go. Our grid choices. Can we set like padding? If we type in pad, slot as vertical box slot only has the padding of itself. So if we do like, we can at least do a little bit of padding here. It's like 1. Or let's just put 10 for the moment. Yeah, there's a little bit of padding there at least. And then this whole vertical box, we can lower a little bit so it's not so in the way. -50. That's fine. So now we've got this doing this. But you can still currently repress choices. Like do like this, and then you got so many dies. That's what piece of computer. Because like video games, video editing is so like decentralized now, right? Like before, people were like, oh, I can't do YouTube because I don't have a PC to edit. But now there's so many editing softwares on other platforms, you know, on mobile and things. I wonder if there's the same for game design. I've never looked into it, but I'm sure someone must be starting to develop like game design softwares for mobile, so you can make like simple games. I think that'd be cool. That's not a bad idea, actually. I wonder if you could do like a mobile game with user-generated content on mobile. So it's not like you can just make a full game on mobile, but inside the game you can design the levels or whatever, and so other people can then play your levels. It's a bit like the Roblox style of being able to make games inside the game and making like loop content. I wonder if someone's done that. Interesting thought. So that's cool. So what I want to do is, this is fine. I need to create a system of locking the button. So on your interaction, when you've pressed roll, the first thing it should do is when you on-clicked button cancel, on-click set choice, it does a thing. On-click button roll, the first thing it should do is lock your choice. So grid choices, we should probably add them to array then. We should probably keep a track of our choice buttons. Should be a widget blueprint choice object reference as an array. And when we fill our choices grid, the first thing we do is take this and clear. And then for each of our choices we have, we're going to add this widget, and we will take our widget and we will add unique to our choices buttons. Add unique. This should work. Okay, we'll add unique here then, because I want them to be a reference of their button class, not of a grid panel child class. Something like that. This slots in here. Boom, boom, boom. Blueprint management is very satisfying because it can look very pretty when you get all the lines matching up nicely, but it's also a bit of a nightmare. Cool. That's good, that's good. And then when we begin our roll, choices for each loop, we will go ahead and do this, but we'll also, for our choices for each loop, just quickly get choice button and disable, or set enabled. Set is enabled false. So basically taking the button and disabling it. So once you've started rolling, you can't do more rolls. So roll. So now I can't do more rolls. I'm just rolling through. So this one here is going to re-roll, or is it no? It's going to be fine. Interesting. Drop my phone. Okay. So we've got our interactable object. We've got that. We've got. We don't need that right now. I think we need a cool method of showing how the roll is going. So so each time a dice finishes its roll, it should also probably pass that through to the interaction. And then if each loop go through break, so how do I check? So on completed of this, if I get roll count and get text, and if this is exactly equal text to make literal int. So if our text is exactly equal to 0, i.e. there's no more rolls to do, then we should also disable the roll button. This is a very unclean way to do this, but it's how I'm going to do it right now. So we get our roll button roll, and we'll just set enabled false. So once you've got no more rolls to do, the button displays it as no more rolls. So right now, the next thing I want to do is have some sort of screen display that says, oh yeah, this is working, this is not working, the roll's going well, the roll's going badly. So on our way to blue interaction, get escape out of the pie. Let's create a big thing in the middle of the screen, which is going to just be text. Put this here, and we'll say its anchor is middle, and its alignment is 0.5, 0.5, and its position is nothing. And we size to the content, and we say this is 0, opacity 0.5, and say its font is like 100, 200. So now, as the count goes up, this number will get bigger and bigger and bigger. So if we 0.25 the default as, I'll save. And as a dice finishes its roll. So as a dice finishes its roll, find roll result, widget blueprint, add to. Okay, this. When we finish a dice roll, we should also. No, not this. We should, once we have the added roll, this should just get our text that we just created. This is going to be our roll total text is variable or txt underscore roll total, and we'll just pass it through. What is going on, Tarquin? Okay, that's great, Tarquin. Thank you for the story. Roll text, set text. For the moment, let's just set the text like this. And we'll actually collapse this to a function, because there's going to be more collapse to function. It's going to be update roll text. And this is going to be the current roll. Current roll. Save. So at the moment, it's going to just say this. So let's see how this looks already. Roll 1. I think it'd be cool if the whole time that they were in the air, they were passing this data through. Roll 3. So it was like, oh yeah, it's working, not working, working, not working. Okay. So now, let's not actually delete everything and finish everything. So with our interaction, so firstly with our die, check die stopped. Let's on our I've got a cool idea, I think. Current roll, and if we add a new value, which is roll to test, that's an integer, because current roll doesn't actually need to be a thing, actually. We can just say this as added roll. And we'll set this text to added roll plus this. And what we'll do is current roll. Yeah, just get rid of that. Roll to test is 0 here, because on the actual add to roll, the added roll will have that, so it doesn't need to know. But that means on our die, when we do this event, we can get our interaction ref and say update roll text with our current find roll result. So let's just put this into false for the moment. So Okay, this is inefficient, but let's do it this way for the moment. So firstly, we'll do like this and like this. So now hopefully when I start the roll, six. So now you can see like as they're rolling. Yeah, that's so much cooler. That's so much cooler. The first thing we'll also do to our roll is this in the middle of the screen is annoying. We'll allocate it to the top and we'll say it's 0 and we'll just drag it up to the top of the screen. And we also want to change its opacity and like stuff to do with it based on like how close to success it is. Like if it's almost there, if it's going to fail, be red. So update roll text. Also set color and opacity. Let's do a make slate color, and then we'll split this struct bin with a alpha and then RGB, and then make literal. Let's recombine. Make color, make linear color. No, just make color. How do I do this in a smart way? Set alpha, break, slate color, split. Okay, here we go. So what we'll do here is split. So this color that we make here will be our color, and then this will be our alpha. So the alpha will just be set to the current roll. So if we get this text roll count, get text roll count, get text to int to string to int, string to integer, and then select. Based on this one, we need 3 before. So if it's 0, it's 1, 0.75, 0.5, 0.1, 0.25, 0.6, and then we will get our this number, and we need to evaluate again. We need to find out like how close it is. Let's just make this white for the moment. White. Let's do one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Break it down to nice, easy chunks. Hello, Timmy Taz. So that is there. 8. I guess maybe we should also check as we're rolling, like if it's over. Like if you finish 2 rolls, I am making a game. That's what I'm doing right now. So this is also backwards. Maybe I should print out. Oh, it's because also I haven't plugged this in. Oh, that's stupid, though, isn't it? That'd be why it's not working. Cool. I think that is working. Find role text should also only be called once. And then this can be plugged in over here. And this can be deleted. Let me just like this. If it's not being pointed to a value, it's probably going to get checked again anyway, but I think we should still do it, just because I think then it's better programming, I guess. Not that I know what good programming is. Cool. The only thing I don't like about this now is that this updating number only happens 3. We roll again. 7, 5, 4, 5, 7. So I need a, but the thing is, I need a 7, right? And I've rolled 2 dice and I've got a 7. So really, I think what probably should happen is now that I've reached this number, it should end the interaction and say, well done, you did it. Rather than forcing me to roll another dice and wait. Because there's no critical strikes or anything like that. So if the numbers reach the required roll, it should just finish and get on with life, you know? Keep the gameplay moving. I'm going to get a drink one sec. Oh, Luke said nothing better. So. I don't know if I like the opacity thing. The opacity should update based on how many dice have landed. Not just how many have flown. So for the moment, let's leave the color and opacity thing. Let's just have the text update. I think this is fine. I think for the moment this is fine. But I do think that there is gameplay implication to making the roll finish if you've already reached it. So here, when I update the roll... No, when I add to roll, finish rolling dice isn't the only reason that an interaction should end. It should also end if I've reached the required number. So let's have a look. Update roll text. That's dice. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. End interaction. Do that right now. Finish dice roll. So if I just get this and collapse to macro and say okay, cool. And we just say check roll successful. plug that in here. And then other places where we need to use that, we can have that as well. So on our add to roll, we should say finish rolling dice or roll successful. Then it does that. And let's just make this first choice really likely, like a 95% chance of success. So we only need a 6. So if we roll 1 die and get a 6, just roll 2 die. So we got a 4. Don't be a 1. Really? Okay. Wait. It said false, but I got over. So we roll first dice. They should be a 6 no matter what. Okay, cool. Choice A false though. Why is choice A coming back as false? That's not right. Choice A should be coming back as successful. Ah, because I'm not reading the right value for the print string. The duh. So firstly, successful roll in here doesn't need to exist as a variable because we have our new method of calculating. So the way that dice rolls now actually work, I think we need to start adding in some more events to make it feel slightly better. Because at the moment, the game flow is like this at the moment, where we have make choose choice. We have roll dice. Final roll. Final roll done. So this is a question, and this is a final roll done. This is a query, and another query which is final count achieved. So you choose choice, then you roll dice. Oh, let's be thicker. If when you roll the dice, final roll is done, or final count achieved, this is then it delete dice and UI. Right now, it's just going straight into this, like this. Whereas what I should do is show. Where I should go like this, where it's like show result nicely. Brackets stop interaction, stop player interactions. And then delete dice and UI brackets resume play. That's probably what should happen. So this is the thing we need to build. So a way to like pause the player from being able to press any buttons or do anything, show them the result of the thing, the choice. So we probably need a choice result pop-up. Okay, so let's go to our widget blueprint choice. In this text, let's make some more options. Designer, let's duplicate this text 2 more times. Duplicate. text role, and we will not make it a variable, and it's just going to say role. And this one is going to say brackets sent. This one is going to say just 0 for the moment. So auto, fill. And then these two, their font we can reduce to 12 and say that their alignment is bottom. So there's some more data there that's a bit clearer to see, hopefully. And our brackets percent is going to be a variable. And when we set our choice odds, we're going to say, we're going to get our, and name this txt underscore percent shower. Because I think that it's kind of hard to understand necessarily from the results. So if you do percent text percent, and we say set text of this to just the percentage chance, and we'll do a one like this, and we will say it's going to just be bracket, open bracket, close bracket, with a percentage chance here. Maybe we'll do space open bracket. And now when we see our choices, we can see it's a roll 6. We can get rid of the roll part in there as well, of course, on our widget blueprint choice. We don't need any more of the appended roll on the text. I think this looks cleaner. Roll 6, chance 95. We should also put a percent symbol in here, 95%. And these two, I think, should have a little bit of padding so that they line up better. Or what if we just, no, this is fine. If we just take these two and do some padding on the bottom of like 10, or 5, or 4, I think that looks pretty good. Hello. I'm not going to yeah, okay, we're getting good data now from our things. So we got a roll required 6 with the 95%, or a roll of 11, which is 50. Now switching between the choices should clear our dice. That's another thing we need to do. Right now, it's all getting broken. So we'll add that thing I'll talk about in a second, but for the moment, let's, when we select a choice, let's close all this down. So on select choice, equal selected choice, false, do that. If it does equal selected choice, do nothing. The first thing it should do is probably we should have a function which is like clear choice. No, don't think I want a function. Clear choice? Yeah. So for this one, what it's going to do is get our choice and say, get our choice, not choice buttons, Do we have a selected choice? A selected choice. Selected choice set as nothing. Get our dice. And this is a sequence node. Sequence. Set the choice as nothing. Then, for each of our dice, say delete destroy actor, and for our roll button roll, set visibility to hidden. And now just when we select choice, set just clear choice. If we just do that, then it's safe. So now when it does respawn the dice positions. But there's some weird stuff here going on with this number being 35. Is that because we're not clearing? I know what it is. I know what it is. I know what it is. Because when we destroy our dice, when we complete that, we need to clear this. That should fix that error. Nice. Let's fix that one. So now we can see this. We should probably add a delay for once it's finished rolling before it actually does something. And I think also we need to make sure that we lock the cancel interaction button as soon as the first dice is rolled. Which is fine. So when we... This is all good. This is all good. So event graph. We should just plug this one into here. Delete this one. So the first thing we do is when you select the choice, is clear the current choice. This is now null and void because it's never going to be false because we just cleared it. I should delete that, hook that back up there. Lower this down to be in line and make this neater. So then we make this our selected choice. Set the visibility of the buttonhole. And then when you roll it, it's enabled. As soon as you started rolling, you can no longer cancel. You're locked in. Button cancel is not enabled. And you can never because cancel is technically speaking a choice. So actually we should probably put that here. So when you roll a button, your choice buttons get locked and your cancel button gets locked. See lock other choices once rolling is begun. You can't stop your rolling until once you started the first roll through cancelling a choice. You can probably stop it by quitting the game or something, maybe? I don't know. We haven't figured out save systems yet necessarily. Let's just get MVPs getting worked on for the moment. So let's see how this works. Cancel is not destroying the button, the things. So widget blueprint interaction on cancel button pressed. end interaction is not the first thing that happens. It should also first clear your choice. Clear choice, and then end interaction. Cancel buttons. Select choice. Select choice chance is not needed. Select choice just needs to know. What am I doing? That's all good. Make little int. Okay. So we've got that, and that. I think maybe the next thing is implementing what I just said, which is implementing this show result to the player. And I'm trying to think if the best way to do that is a part of this widget, or make a new widget. So this widget passes through all that information to the new widget. Then that widget does a thing. Like a roll result widget or something. I don't know what design-wise is best. So for the moment we just never end the interaction. So on click button roll, yep, and then on add to roll. At the moment on add to roll, if you finish, it just says finish dice roll. And finish dice roll instantly does all this stuff. What we probably want to do is finish dice roll, rather than doing all this, spawns a new widget that is the end of the thing. End interaction is also doing a whole bunch of stuff, which is probably not actually what you want. Probably instead, we wanted to do this. And this then passes through any important data to the new widget, and the new widget then shows you the result, gives you a little bit of the funny story. I don't want that to work. I think in an ideal world, let's go through our flowchart again. Show result nicely to player. Delete dice in UI, not resume play. Animation / gameplay result shown. So let's make this a new color. So the player chooses a choice, they click roll the dice. If the final count is achieved or final roll done, show result nicely to the player, delete the UI and dice, animation for this, and then display resume player control. Because at the moment what's happening is, if we just copy all this, yeah. At the moment what's happening is we choose player choice, roll the dice, this happens, and at the moment none of this has any functionality, and it just deletes dice in UI, which is not ideal, I think. I think some of them I want to have a nice text pop up. Some of them I want to have a simple received item. And some of them I want to have just the gameplay result being shown to you. And so I think that needs to be decided at the interaction level rather than at the widget blueprint interactable level. So each individual interaction will know, oh, when this choice is finished, I need to do this. And part of giving the player an item is showing the text pop up. Rather than that being necessarily as a part of the choice data. I think that's more efficient. So let's... What is show the result nicely? Is it just a delay? Is it just a... So finish dice roll. If instead of finish dice roll being a thing, because in here we can't have delay nodes. I don't think. So let's just make it on the event graph, new custom event, which is finish dice roll over. So let's just, at the moment, just copy all this over. It's not going to be too dissimilar right now. So the first thing that happened is the dice probably need a function on them or an event. Let's do cut this to an event, custom event, which is delete or remove die from world. What's that? Select choice. Ah. Well, we don't need to know that because it's not used anywhere, I think. On click choice. Yeah, that's not needed anymore, so that's fine. On the die, remove die from world. So interaction down here. Rather than just destroy actor, what we'll do is remove die from world. And I think eventually that would be able to have a nice little animation with some particle effects, whatever. A little magical poof. And once this is completed, get dice and clear. And this will just do roll dice over. We'll just do delay for 2 seconds. And then once this is done, delay 1 second with a print string, or just roll this over. The first thing you should do is get our roll count and set color and opacity. With a select of check roll successful, and if it's true, make slate color. If it's false, make slate color. False, we'll just do a nice big red. This, a nice big green. And we also need to then obviously set up that instead of finish dice roll, so if we find references by class member And we'll just do what was it? End dice, end roll, dice roll over. File save. Finish dice roll. We deleted. File save. And then on our graph, we'll just name this finish dice roll. Because I prefer that name, but I just didn't want it to be a function. I wanted to have some delays in there just to make it feel a bit slower and nicer for players. So now, got 0, got 1 die, 2 die, and we're gonna reach our value here. Oh, I've changed this to green, not the big number. I'm so stupid. How did I manage to do that? Text roll count. It's not roll count, it's text roll total. Like that. Let me just check that I haven't done that somewhere else as well. Roll count. Count by name. Roll count 3. Roll count. Minus. Roll count. Yeah, cool. That's all good. So now we roll our 3 die, and as they go around and land, we say, "Are we done?" Yes, we are. Green. We haven't deleted our die yet. We can now move around. Oh, but I've got a physics disabled on them now, so I can't push them around, which is good. Either way, they're going to be gone. So at the moment, this will just be a destroy actor. It'll just destroy itself. But eventually, it'll do more exciting things, which is why I'm moving it to an event rather than just calling that exact function. And then the end interaction does some stuff. So let's check our to-do list and how we're doing. Let's do some negative playtesting on our buttons. So if we go and interact with a thing, can we click away? No. X. Can we re-click? Yes. We spawn lots of buttons, switch between them, start rolling and click away. X. Nice. This one's a 50-50. Let's check that it goes red if it's false. So here we only get a... Wait, we got an 11? Perfect roll, wow. We roll all 3. Let's get a nice low roll, guys. Let's fail. Oh my god, really again? A good roll. I guess the issue with this counter is it's only adding up dice that are stopped. So what the number should probably actually do is like for a 50-50, I'm getting it. I've got it 3 times in a row now. Come on, now we fail. Don't roll 6. Okay. Fail. Great. Choice B false. Brilliant. So what should probably happen is end interaction should probably not be an event. So this should probably happen. Event graph. You set the color and it does the end interaction, which is actually like the code part of passing through that data. So it will be finished. And these two can be copied over here. If it's not valid, carry on. It should never not be valid, really, because it has to be called by someone. But for the moment, let's just make sure we cover off any weirdness. And then on end interaction, shouldn't actually have any of these inputs. End interaction should just be let the player move again, and the end interaction actually shouldn't probably happen. That should be controlled by the interactable, because maybe some of them you don't want the player to be moving again. But for the moment, let's leave it here. Maybe tick. Let's add a boolean to this, which is enable player ? And we'll just do a sequence and branch. Enable player true. So this is just if we want the player to be re-enabled, do this, which at the moment would always be true, but I think eventually there'll be interactions where maybe we don't want to re-enable the player, so let's enable player true, print our string out. Great. Cool. So hopefully this is now all working. So now what we need to do is actually figure out what happens when we... I guess actually first we should probably make our dice spawn nicely every time and fix this number issue. Let's just make it easy to succeed, fail. I get a glass of water. Okay. So the only thing we want to do now is fix the dice spawning correctly and fix our number counting system. So on interaction, our spawn dice calculation should probably firstly have an input of dice int, which is a integer, or dice index. That's an output. Dice index. So rather than all this randomization, especially on location, we will just say we'll delete these three. Z, X, select, Y, select, just select with a, well, let's just reconstruct Recombine struct bin, select. And we have 3 indexes, which is 0, 1, 2. Okay, it's always going to be 3 dice now. Minus 180, 180, minus 180, 180, minus 180. And what this will do is say if it's 0, should the last dice be in the middle? Or, yeah, so 0 is x minus 100. Let's just see where that goes. Do anything? No, because I haven't passed through the index. I think that's the issue. So the index we need to get passed through from our thing here. First index 1, last index 3. So index, if we get our dice index and subtract 1, then we have 0, 1, 2 rather than 1, 2, 3 coming through. And now if we interact with spawn, x this way, y is this way, okay. So if we just say it's like 50 minus 150 minus 30, and then this will be 50, 150 minus 30, and this one will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Maybe even just pull back a tiny bit, so like minus 20. Now we can have the dice spawning in a nice equal system all the time. That looks way better than the randomization. Beautiful. Somehow managed to fail a 90% chance roll, so it's really great. That actually looks way better instantly. So the next thing we need to fix is our dice update system, because I think it's really cool having it in the middle showing the value. But on the die, find roll result. This is quite a heavy function, to be honest. I don't really want to do this on tick, but I think I'm gonna have to. So on the die, instead of doing this like this, we won't update the roll text here. That's a bad way to do it. What we'll just do is this. Leave this here actually. We'll just make a duplication of this. We'll go back to it being here, because I like only checking the roll result here if you're unsure. So this is just checking the unsure part really. But we need to check the roll result to find the unsure part. So this is happening on a timer which is not that frequent, which is going to make it quite cheap. But we can increase this start delay back to like 3 seconds. So that's not too bad. But on our Widget Blueprint interaction, what we're going to do is in our event graph, we're going to add an event tick, which I don't like using event ticks too much, but I think this is a place where it's a big boon to gameplay, seeing this happening. So on event tick, we will first find our die and collapse this to a function and say check roll estimate. So the roll estimate is the roll when things are still moving. That doesn't add to the roll. All it does is update the text. So in check roll estimate, we're going to do a for each loop of our die, and we're going to say rolling, and we're going to say if I'm rolling rolled. So firstly, or if I'm rolling or I've rolled, then I need to then get roll. What's it called? What was that one called? Find roll result. Find roll result. And make a local variable. It's going to be roll estimate. I'm going to name this as a integer, not an array. I'm going to set this to 0 at the beginning of this, and roll estimate is going to be an add of this value to the roll estimate. And then at the end, we're going to add an output, or are we just going to call the function of update roll text? You can just go straight in here rather than adding roll to text. Roll update roll result text. And let's also rename that to roll result. Roll result total. And on event tick, we'll do that. At the moment, it's just going to do this. What we should also do is take our, where do we get the color for stuff? In, not on BBDie, in here. We had a system of checking the color. So this is just roll successful. So what we also want to do is probably change this to a input of roll to test, because we want to test is it the added roll at the end, but we also want to sometimes test the roll estimate. So if we find class member, check roll successful, this is going to be added roll. They're all going to be added roll right now, actually, so we can just do that quickly. Let's go through the added roll. Added roll. Add to roll. Added roll. Check roll total. Cool. Compile, save. So now on check roll estimate, our roll to test update text result is going to be this number, which is going to be roll estimate. And in here, we're going to do this. And then in our event graph, we're going to take all of these things and just paste it in here. And on roll to test, use this roll rather than add roll. Then the places where we update roll text is the added roll. But the add to roll no longer should actually update the text. I don't think. I think added roll should just do the back end. Update roll text. Check roll estimate. And then on our rent graph, we should do a quick, once rolling has begun, the first thing we should do when we start roll is set. Actually, no, we can just do if any of them are rolling or rolled. This is fine. So this is 0 and it's going to be red because it's failed. But I guess we need to also only do it once the roll has started. Oh, 1, 4. Okay, roll again. Oh, it's going to be 7. Nice. Okay, that feels so much better. We also need to disable the roll button. What's this? The kind of opacity. This is getting a result of nothing. Selected choice. I guess it doesn't always have a selected choice, so what we need to do is update roll result, check roll estimate. Should only happen if roll estimate is not equal to 0. So if roll estimate is not equal to 0, then update the text. So for this, it's nothing. As soon as we roll 1, it starts doing it, and then it'll be that. That'll be just a way to not have it be broken early on. So here, at the point, for this point it's fine, and then we can roll again. And roll again, we fail. Literally the lowest roll. Kind of impressive actually. So if we do it again, I should actually do the high success chance. So we do our first roll, and we get a 1 again because we're so impressive. How are we going to do snake eyes again? That's actually impressive. Interact, roll. Two. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, not 1, not 1. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's awful. Ay, ay, ay. Great. We need to disable the roll button if you start the end finish rolls. So if you start this process of finishing the rolls, if you call finish dice roll, we should also get your roll button and disable it. You can't roll a dice once it's been decided that you've successfully rolled your dice. Otherwise you could like break things, I guess. Probably just good practice to do that. Let's organize this a little bit. I don't like having a macro that has a thing in it. Really? I think that the opacity should be 0 until it's locked in. I don't know how to do that right now. Oh, yes. Nice. Cool. These percentage odds seem a bit weird to me. Like, the fact that I failed the 95% a number of times. I think like the lowest I'll ever take odds for any interaction that I might want to succeed is like 50 to 60% probably. Because like this 95% has failed a number of times, which is a bit boring. But that looks way better. Is it performant? I have no idea, probably not. But it looks really nice, and that's what I really care about right now. So let's just test if I make this. Three or more. No. Wait, I rolled. Four. I roll a 2. Oh, that's not helpful. Find roll result. Is there just like a greater than rather than greater or equal to somewhere? Interaction, check success. Answers greater or equal to. Graph. Because I had 2 3s. And add to roll. I had 2 3s, which equaled 6, which meant that it should be successful. Okay, just keep doing this chance until we get a 6. 5. 2. That's successful. What are we doing here? 3. Give me a 3. Oh, so close. Do this. 1. 5. Give me a 5. Can I see a 5? Oh, so close. I'm sure that it did just complete. I just didn't realize it completed. But I want to make sure that we test this. 3. Give me another 3, please. There we go. 6. 6 is red, but the required roll is 6. That's not good. Check roll successful. Get roll. Roll to test. Percentage chance. So 6. Huh. No, that's right. Is this less than or equal to chance? So it's actually reading this as 7. Hello, Unjust. So if it's actually reading this as 7, do I just have too many of these? Is it... get... Let's, where we use this test, let's see what it's actually giving us back. So if we find, check role successful, find references, class member. Let's find a place to actually use this that might be useful for us to see. So at the end of a role, let's just do a print string. Maybe just do it on tick. Just do it on tick. Print string. Let's get role estimate. So let's do it in here. We'll just print string, and we will get this one and get our successful role. And no, let's get this for the moment. We're going to get our role estimate. And let's just do a append percentage chance. Let's just see what we're reading back for the moment, because something's going wrong here. 100%. So when we land a 2, it's saying 100%. If we land something higher than a 2, let's say 6, 4, 4 is saying 99.54. So on our chances, 4 is 99.54. So why is 6 reading back as false? We roll once more. Can we try and get 6? We actually got 6. 95.37. So it's reading back the right number. That's not the problem. So this roll estimate is creating a chance of 95.37, which is index number 6. And our percentage chance, let's do an append space dash percent brackets. This is our chance. Close brackets. Open space dash open. Is it true or false? So let's go through some roles and just have a little stop, play, click on this. So we can see there's always false here. It's saying 95.37, 95% chance is false, which is actually correct. But why then is it saying the required roll is 6? That's where things are going wrong. Because if we, let's say we up this to 96%, it's now saying the required roll is 5. But of course I roll a perfect 5, beautiful. So now it's saying that this is, well, because this is obviously false, because rolling a 5, no, this is obviously true. There's a 98% chance of getting a 5, and we got a 5, which is over 95% chance. Right? We have a 96% chance of getting this right, and we have hit Why is my brain struggling so much? So should the actual number be the first thing on our widget blueprint choice? How are we calculating the odds? We just say required roll. When this is greater or equal than the chance, that's the required roll. Does that make sense? So when we go through this and we say this one, or we have a 100% chance, so any of these rolls should be allowed. Let's see what happens if we say it's a 100% chance, because then every single roll should make it work, right? But does the 100% roll not make it work? If we roll a 1, 2, 3, ooh, 1, that works. But if that was a 101% chance, so if we go to interaction, chances, and say 101, 101, 101, 101, does it no longer work? Yeah. So if the chance is actually too good, it doesn't work. Or something. Why the hell is that happening? Why the hell is that happening? So if the chance is, let's say getting a 4 is let's say getting a 6 is 95.37% chance. If our odds say 90, so if this is it just that this, if we did like a to float, does this fix the issue? If we say 100% chance, 3, and if we say like a 99.9% chance, or okay, 96% chance, then it should say 6. It says 5. It says 5. Which is correct, because it's between these two. So, but no, because... Wait, no, but yes, but no, but yes. No, but yes, but no. The percentage chance. So this is 96. This. Get rid of that. So this number is 96. And these are our chances. So the required roll should be 5. Because it goes down this list And as soon as percentage chance is smaller so it goes down the list and goes 100 is bigger than this. True. Set the required roll. 100 is bigger, 100 is bigger, 100 is bigger. 99.54 is bigger, is greater or equal than, yeah, than 96. So set the required roll to 5. But then it goes 95.37. Do I just do a -1 here? Like, this does technically fix everything, right? But I don't know if I like... No, it doesn't fix everything, because 5 apparently failed. But 98.15 is greater than 96. So there's things afoot somewhere. Roll 5. Oh, I can remember doing this in school and hating it. All the variations and variables and this odds plus this odds makes it that odds and whatever. I remember doing that at school and it was a blooming nightmare. And guess what? It's still a blooming nightmare. So our chances are coming through and it's saying 5. This seems to be correct. The required roll for a 96% chance is 5. That's correct. The issue comes at the point of checking if that's correct later on. If you've rolled a 5, it now thinks that 6 is the required roll, not 5. So the choice selection is correct, but somewhere in here, we're not correct. Roll estimate doesn't equal 0. Roll estimate has this text. And we get... Oh, that's why. Okay. That's why. But now it's not gonna work because 6 is too big of a number. That's not good. But the choice figures out a required roll. So why am I rechecking all these percentages later on? Why not just use the required roll? I can decide that early on. I don't need to figure out the percentage chance later on. I could just... The choice calculates its odds. And I pass the required roll. And rather than doing all this stuff later, because this is correct. Is this that's so is this is greater or equal than this? No answers. But this maths only works if you're cycling through them. If you're getting a specific one, let's say you roll a 6 and the odds are 96. This is not greater than that. Hum. So maybe actually what we should be doing is subtract. If we did 100 minus this, does this now work? So we say roll 5 is required. No. Because then this number is less than this. Check roll estimate. What if we, instead of chance, did 100 minus the chance? So now it's going to pass through like 4. So then we have our choices. If we're passing through here, if we're going and saying, oh, it's a 4, roll estimate, let's say the roll estimate is a 4, is 99.54 less than or equal? Is this greater than or equal to 4? This greater than or equal to 4. This go in here. And this goes in here. Then does it all work? No. Why? Oh, because I've only picked up in one place. So if we then do our bad interaction, no, this doesn't work either. I think that this is just a bad method, I guess. Let's skip this for the moment. Ignore this big number. Our chances we have a percentage chance to succeed. And we have a list of chances in their integers. So if we have a roll of 4 to check, and we have a number that has 99.54. So we check 4 and we get 99.54. Is 99.54 less than or equal to our chance of 96? No. No? They're saying 6. True. We get 5. 5, 5, 5. 2. False. Five. False. Why is 5 false? 98 is not less than 96. Ninety 567 90.74 90.74 is less than 96. So maybe it is the choice that's getting it wrong. This choice is less than or equal to percentage chance. Choice. This is less than or equal to this. What do you think? But now I need 18 rolls for everything. Because if my choice chances this now doesn't work because I'm cycling through them. So one, I just then let's set a, let's make a new, this is a function, right? Yes, let's make a new local variable, which is lowest roll, or lowest successful roll, and we'll set it, and we'll only set our, so if this is a successful chance, then say great. And so if our lowest successful roll is, if this is greater than the lowest successful roll, because what we want to try and find is the lowest index here that works. So firstly, is this greater than 2? We don't even care about the ones below 2. True, then do stuff. If it's greater than 2, then try and do your things. And we're going to set this for each loop. is index greater than 2 is our first check. Percentage odds is getting complicated, but we'll figure it out. So if our index is greater than 2, we'll start doing our maths. If it's less than 2, we don't care about it. So the first point is a 3 possible. So this is currently equal to 0. So if it's a valid successful chance, true, then we need to do, we'll do an AND boolean. And if it's a valid successful chance and the lowest successful roll is less than the index, and lowest successful roll, let's do this then, is less than the index, then set the required roll and do this. But if the index is higher, don't do anything and set our lowest successful roll as the index. So now hopefully this will work. No. What went wrong? Lowest successful roll, index greater than 2, true. It's a possible chance, and lowest successful roll less than index. And true, required roll. Lowest successful roll, maybe a not? Is that what I need? No. Because at the point at which it's, or if we just default it to 100, then maybe 100 outcomes, then maybe 100 roll, so 6, 16. Okay, I think that's now working. I think that's not working. So let's leave this as is. And honestly, like, we probably don't even need required roll anymore. We could probably just do it like this. And then we get our lowest successful roll and do a to text. Text. Because this is now correct. Because if we have a 96% chance of success and we have our chances, 96 should be a required roll of 5, not of 6. Because 6 is too unlikely. Yeah, 6 is too unlikely for 96% chance. For 95% chance of 6, then 90 is 7. Okay. So this print string, let's get rid of this print string because this is getting confusing. The roll to test is this, and we update it, and that should all be fine now. Choice is going to do this. It should display 6, 16, roll. But now 6 is coming back as a fail again. But wait, no. No, 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 no. Ah, I haven't got rid of this. Okay. That was kind of correct, but 1, 2, 3, 4 is not working. Only a 6. Yeah. 6 or above should be working. Perfect. If we lower, we make it even easier. Or am I being stupid? If I up the chance to 98, it's still 6. If I go to 99, then it drops to 5. That's wrong. That's incorrect. 98 should be a 5. Because if I say 100, what does it say? 3. At least all the numbers are matching up now. Like, the success is correct, the rollers, they all match up, but they all match up incorrectly. Which is not ideal. So, we get through to here, and it's on 5 as the lowest successful roll. And then it goes through to 6, and it says, oh, index 6, is it greater than 2? Yes. 6 has a chance of 95.37, which is less than or equal to 5. Wait, what? Which is less than or equal to 96. Chance 96. This less than or equal to, yeah. And our lowest successful roll is a 5 currently. 5? I'm getting confused. So let's just do a comment. So if we have percentage chance, percentage equals 96, lowest roll equals 5. It's 5. 5. When index 6. Brackets 95.37. So this is coming through. 95.37 is less than 95.37 is less than 96. Yes. Wait, am I being stupid? Should this be greater than? I'm just really stupid. I'm getting confused. That's not correct. I don't know any of this. This should function like this. This is simple and should function. So what's going wrong here? If we get our chance and our roll to test is 5 and 5 comes through, is 5 less than the selected choice? No. But five. But 5 should work because 96 is between these two numbers, so it should slot in right here. So if we say get our chance, if it's greater than or equal to percentage chance, what happens? Subtract 100 minus greater than . No. Less than. No. And this never works. Oh, because this is a 6, which is a higher roll than 5. I'm getting really confused. I'm getting really muddled down in the weeds of freaking maths. If our selected choice has a chance of 96 and our chances says the roll comes through as 5, it comes through as 4, and 4 has a 99.54, which is greater than 96. So this says less than or equal to. So if, why is that ever reading as true with 4? True. Roll to test. That's coming through as 5, or like 1. Let's say this is coming through as 1. 100%. Is it greater or equal? Is it less than or equal to 96? No. So why is 1 working? One isn't working. That's correct. 1 is false. Because 100% is not less than that. So 5 is not less than that. 6 is less than that. So why is 5? think we're getting there. But I did need that other little bit of code because I was being stupid. I had it right at one point, and then I fucked it all up. So if this is greater equal, no, if this is greater than the lowest successful roll, not bool, and bool, then we should get back to writing 6. Yeah. Three. Nine. Okay. I want to roll a 6. Make sure that the 6 works. 4. Give me a 2. Give me a 2. Oh, there we go. 6 works. Yes. I think it's working. I just don't know if I like these odds. It doesn't feel great as a player, I think. But let's carry on. I think that the system is there now, and the system seems to work. And it is mathematically correct. Even if I don't know if I love the design outcomes. So let's save everything. Take a little breath and take stock of where we're at. So unlocking of buttons is all good. We have not actually successfully changed this stuff. And we show dice rolls and end choice properly. So this is now passing the information back through the interaction. We need to create a generic function for update story event. And we need to have some idea of what a story event is. So a story event is probably going to be a struct, or a story event just going to, yeah, a story event's going to be a struct. So in our interaction blueprints, we're going to make a new blueprint structure. And we're going to say st story event. And this story event is going to have a story event ID, name, it's going to be a string. It's going to have a variable happened, bool, and successful question mark bool. That's all we need on the story event right now. And so our SD choice default values. Yeah, okay, that was where I could do it. I don't know why closing a struct blueprint like freezes Unreal, but it's very annoying. So now we need to create, I don't know, a game instance or a game mode, somewhere we can hold this information until it gets written to a file or saved. Probably safer to put it on the game instance in case we end up doing level loading, or maybe it's safer to put it on the game mode. Let's put it on the game mode. I think that's the best place to put it. So if we go to our top-down blueprints, top-down game mode, let's move this into MISC blueprints. Blueprints game mode, MISC blueprints. Yeah. Okay. Are there any redirectors in here? We will update redirector references. Yeah, reference ones. Our top-down blueprints can go. So let's start renaming things as well. BP UMH player character. controller. We won't do character. UMH player, UMH controller, and then we'll name this UMH game mode. Maybe just GM underscore UMH. So in our game mode, open floor blueprint editor, compile save. UMH player, UMH controller, game session, that's all fine. We need to create a variable which is going to be called story events. And that's going to be a story st story event array. Should it be an array or should it be a map so that we can find story events with a key? I think I'll just leave it as an array. If we have to do a for each loop occasionally, I don't think it's the end of the world. So story events. Let's create function, which is I think it should be a map. I think it should be a map of string story event, and we should, on our st story event, fraction blueprints. I think we should also move story event into our miscellaneous blueprints. Move here, directors. Blueprints, st story event should have story event name. Should it have that now that it's on there as a map item? So let's do a little bit of design for this. So firstly, let's go through our interaction flow. Go pen. Make this thick, light. So choose choice done. Ooh, that's a really ugly green. Choose choice done. Roll dice done. Final count achieved. This done. Delete dice in UI is done. Show result player is kind of like semi done. Tick. Let's tick that for the moment. Cool. So if we're thinking about the flow of information, does there need to be a way to have, do we need all story events existing somewhere before they've happened? I don't think so. I think all we need to know is a story event only exists once it's happened. So therefore we probably don't need a happened thing. So the game mode might have story events, and it's just a map of string boolean of like event successful. But we said earlier we wanted the things to have a counter. So if we make it a map of string integer, we could just say if it's greater than 1, it's happened. If it's greater than 0, it's happened, or it's successful. And if the count is more than 0, then it's happened more than, then it's happened lots of times. I think that actually is pretty clean. So we don't need this store event. struct at all. We won't delete it yet. So in our UMH, we're going to have an array of strings and integers, map of string and integers, and that's going to be unique story event IDs along with their counts of how many times that has happened successfully. So for anything that you need to count, then you can have more than one of the count, and anything that's just true or false, 0 is failed, 1 is succeeded. So this is going to be, it should be visible. So in our, yeah, we can delete this now, delete. Generic functions, let's make some more functions, which is get player, get, oh no, get UMH char underscore get UMH controller. But I don't have a calling actor in this situation, so get player character is world context. So it's actually not useful at all, really. But maybe it saves more time with the cast thing than pure. I don't know. Anyway, for the moment, let's do a update or like a set story event. And this is going to have story event, which is going to be a string. It's going to have a happened bool. And it's going to be a successful bool. Or like a successful, and then added count integer. This is normally going to be 0. So you're first going to get game mode, caller, be a actor reference. So this will be just the reference itself. So as our caller, we'll get the game mode, cast to GM-UMH. As this, we're going to get story events. And then we've got values and keys. So the first thing we'll do is there are like a remove. Okay, yeah, cool. So if we get our get story event and we do a find item, and this equals -1. So first off, if you can't find it and true, and it's happened, true, then maybe want to actually promote to local variable game mode. this, like this. Do this for the moment. Game mode. If I get our game mode story events, and we do a add. We say we add our story event and select int with has or happen. So if it's happened, if it hasn't happened, pick 0. If it has happened, we'll do another select int, and it's successful. True. One, but there's actually going to be a select int, which is 1 or get added count. Added count a if added count is greater than 0. So if we've set a custom added count, then we'll add the count. If not, we'll just say it's successful as 1. And that is adding a new story event. So we can take this all the way across here, comment this out as add new story event, set up as successful or not. Save everything, compile save. So if we game mode story event, if we haven't found it and it hasn't happened, we don't need to add it. If we haven't found it and it has, if we found it let's do a greater or equal to 0. So it's greater or equal to 0. False. Then new story event, add it. If it is already in the array, and happened is true, like a set attribute value? No. Update. Or get values. Set array element, and then found index, found index, and then we will get the added count. We actually don't need the has happened here because we're only doing this if it has happened, so it's successful. So this item. I kind of want to convert this to a universal macro, but we'll figure that out later. So this is update a story event that has happened. Before. And then we've got our last one, which is going to be if we found it, but it now hasn't happened, we need to delete it. Which is, I think, the hardest one to do. So what we'll need to do is false. Is there a remove? Yeah. Actually, it's not the hardest then. Remove the store event of this. So are there any outcomes we need to do that aren't one of these three things? Remove event that now hasn't happened. So this will be for things like if we need to revert something, or if we need to update the array because we load the game, or some other thing. Hey Yash, it's good to see you back. Then we need to do that. So if we... No, so this is not quite right, because now what we need to do is if it exists, the added count shouldn't just set it up as this. It should also do something else. It shouldn't just set the added count to the item to the added count. It should also find item. Oh no, get a copy of this index. Given array index, yeah. It gets a copy of this, and it says either, and then it just says successful, found index, successful, true, found index plus added count to this. Yeah. So if it's not successful now, it goes back to 0. The only thing I could see with a problem is if like we have a count one where we like up with the count with every success, but if you pray and you fail to pray, should all of your prayers go back to 0, or should prayers be reduced by 1? In which case, what we probably want to do is update story that's found before. So now, rather than just being set successful to 0, if it's not successful, it should take the found index get and yeah, it's going good. We're going good. It's we're getting deeper into the weeds now. Subtract 1. So either if it's a count 1, it should just lower the count, and if it's a just true or false 0 or 1, it'll go from 1 to 0. That makes more sense to me. So let's see how we're doing. Let's remind ourselves. So we've got our roll count up here. We make a choice and we say we want to do this roll. We can roll our dice. These are now updating dynamically with all the different things. And we have a 96% chance of succeeding. We hit a 15 and it works. Low battery on my headphones. Oh my. This cable right now is being used for my fan. Okay, go back 1 sec. Okay. We have power to the headphones. Good start. So this is now all working, but this 5% chance one is not going to happen. That's good. what we need to do now is on this base interactable, we need to implement our other event, which is this. So are these still the right variables to have on this thing now that we're thinking about our store event? So the choice, let's first break this. So if we finished it, let's do a update story, or is that not what I called it? Blueprints, miscellaneous blueprints, set story event. Set story event. So the caller itself, and we have this set story event, which is going to have a, as it happened, finished, yes or no. It's going to have a successful, yes or no. Added count is 0 unless the interaction needs it. So that's honestly very, very simple. So yeah. So if in our level, we open up a level blueprint, and let's say we create a new object, just like make a light, point light, and we have a point light here, make it really, really bright in the corner, like this, and we say this light is movable, and we say it's called, hi Alice, light result, and we go to our level blueprint, and we get a reference to this light result. So if on begin play, we then get a reference to our interactable object, and we create a new dispatch on interactable objects that is called interaction finished. We call this, and we just have like, no. Yeah, I did. It's always nice. Interaction finished needs a few things about it. I think interaction finished just needs 2 inputs, which is going to be the story event, which is a string, and the successful, which is a boolean. Why is just re-event it then? Wow. Sorry about that. Get the fan on my face. So if we just plug in our story event and our successful into that, what we can then do is on our here, we can bind event to interaction finished, and do a, or can I do a interaction finished? Yes, this is way better. Interaction finished. We'll just do a story event equals do I want to do that, or do I want to just do a branch? Not even a branch. So if it happens or not, set enabled. Well, I just want to change. Let's just change that this for the moment, just for a proof of concept. Set light color. Point light. hopefully. And we will just do a select color, pick A. If it's successful, we'll make it green. If it's not successful, make it red. So now we can link different actors together with a dispatch. If we set it successful, are we actually going to make it not successful with a 96% chance? Come on, roll anything other than like a 2. We actually had a not successful. Cool. It's red. And then we re-interact with the object. We'll roll again. Roll them all. Roll it all. So it's now green, successful. It's going to go green. Beautiful. Now if we make 2-point lights, so we put this one over on the left, make another one over on the right, and we say this is light result 2, and we do a get reference, and we do a select node here between 0 and 1, and we just plug it into story event. Can we do that? No. We just say equal, exactly equal string. How do we want to do this? This is just test code, so it doesn't need to be clean. Let's just do here. And then another one. This, bump, bump. Equals this. Equals this. This first one will plug into here, which is this one. Delete this. And then we'll just copy all, paste all this. So if it's true, do this one. Pick K is based on if it's successful. So, I'm from the UK too. Exactly equal to, what do I name these? Test choice A and test choice B. So now we can change the color of these lights left and right based on whether these two choices go well. So this one worked, so the left one works. And then the right one is going to fail because it's only a 5% chance of success unless I get really lucky. I did get pretty lucky, not bad. So that one then goes red. So if we keep doing the right one, there. I want to keep doing. I should keep doing the left one until it fails. Maybe is that more likely? I mean, they're both technically speaking a 5% chance either way. Okay, let's make this easier to test by making them a both 50% chance. So, but I'm happy with the system. The system is working pretty nicely. And I think we're almost at the point where I can start. So that's a fail. Now let's start doing test choice B. Perfect success. And then if we re-roll B, and hopefully it'll fail. So I am making a top-down narrative adventure game where what you do is you walk around the environment. At the moment you're this little white cube, and you will interact with objects, and you're given choices. So for example, if you interact with the guard, you might get a bribe guard or attack guard. And then you can do things like choose what weapon you might use or how you want to attack them or whatever it might be. You might have options like how much you want to bribe them with. Do I want to use 1 coin, 10 coins, the nobleman's ring or whatever, like whatever you've got in your inventory. And you can then choose which choice you do, and they then have a chance of succeeding. So at the moment, this choice B has a 50% chance. So when I click it, I get my 3 die, and I've got 3 rolls, and I need to get 11. So if I roll the first dice, I get a 2. That's not a good roll. Roll the second dice. I need to get some 6s and 5s if this is going to work. A 1, so there's now no chance of me to do it. So the choice fails, and then at the moment the choice fails and the light goes red. But let's say that was the attack one. You would then see the guard stab you, you would die, or you'd be arrested, or whatever else. So that's how the game is going to work. But at the moment we're just base system building. So I'm still working on the very base system of choices and having choices work and pass their data through properly. See already there, I noticed that at the moment, if I just erase all this stuff, I've been building this system today, right, where I have this flow chart, but already, if you have the roll dice, there should be another option here, which is final count achieved, or final count mathematically impossible. Mathematically impossible. So on this option now, this should also go back to here. So at the moment, the interaction doesn't end fast enough if it's mathematically impossible, because there's always 3 dice. So if I roll, if I need a 11 and I roll 1 and a 1, there's no chance that the third dice can ever be enough. So at the point where it becomes mathematically impossible, the interaction should end and do that. So maybe I should implement that now, because that is a quite important thing. And whilst I'm in the system, it's better because I've got it fresh in my brain. So if we go to the blueprint UI interaction, so at the point of add to roll, it's checking that, but does it check? Where is it actually checking? Right, so it's checking if the roll is successful. So we need to have a here, which is a function, which is like, if you imagine, we need something that says roll mathematically impossible. So we need a new function here that also ends it if it's mathematically impossible. So firstly, we always know there's going to be 3 dice. So let's create a new local variable, which is dice rolled. It could be an integer. And so here we'll just set this. We'll set it with just a little bit of logical maths. So we'll get the array index and say select int, select, or is it just subtract 3 minus this? Dice rolled is either, if the first one comes through and it's rolled, second one, I think dice rolled is just this index. So then what we'll need to do is take our added roll and say added roll or successful. If we get this number, what we need to get is the required roll. And how do we get the required roll? Percentage chance. I think if we do this, this, Oh, yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. Should be in here. Thanks, Yash. We're right at the beginning, so I don't know if it's looking that impressive yet, but hopefully we'll get there. Added role. So we have the chance, and we say the added role is this. This. So we need added role plus the plus dice rolled minus 3 minus dice rolled. So if the added roll plus this number multiplied by 6. This is basically saying, mathematically, can we roll what we need left with the dice remaining? And then if we check that against our chance, let me just check if that is... so then, if we do this, and we say not bool, so this is now saying, if we take what we've currently rolled, so our added roll, plus everything that's possible to roll with the remaining dice, if that's successful, if that's not successful, so there's no mathematical chance to be able to roll a successful roll anymore, then finish the dice roll. Let's see if this works. If we roll 1, and we get a 1, that's a good start for our test. This is still mathematically possible to get 11, because you can roll 6, 6 or 5, 5 plus the 1. If we roll another 1, and we get a 5, it's still mathematically possible, so you can roll again. So that worked as expected. 12, pass, 50-50, good job. Now if we do it again, we roll again. We roll hopefully a low number. That's a bit annoying. 5 means everything's mathematically possible. We roll again. Okay, let's test this with a worse odds. So choice A, let's say it's a 15% chance. So now we need a roll of 15, which means we roll once, we get 2. It's still mathematically possible. No, no longer mathematically possible, so therefore we fail. Cool. So you roll once, and it lands, and it goes, this dice, again, is a 2, which is too low. End it, and do that. I think the feedback right now to a player is still bad. But if we roll a good number, does it not? What's the highest we could get? Like, let's say 1 is not a good number. 1 is a bad number, if anyone knows how to roll a dice. But that's a very simple thing to add, but it is. So 6, we're still mathematically possible. Roll again. At the point of it rolling a 1, we're mathematically impossible. End the interaction. Yeah, that's better already. Cool. That was a good little addition that I... See, that's why I like streaming my development, because I'm in the middle of something, and I'll be explaining it to someone, and I'll go, oh, actually, I could do that better if I did it this way. But our to-do list today is pretty much done. Show dice result properly. It's done. And probably pass through the information. I think the only thing I would do now is on finish dice roll, I would make some quick visual flair change for the moment. So finish dice roll. Probably doesn't actually need to do this. Maybe update roll result text with roll to test here. Take all this out. what we'll also do is get this text and set. How do we move? I want to move it to the middle of the screen. Maybe we just do a quick animation. Let's just make a quick animation. It's a bit dirty, but animate this, which is finish roll. And we will open up this and add horizontal. And then we need to track its transform. And so we'll make this like a 1 second long animation. And we'll do translation, enter. And then if we go translation, transform, translation, come down into the middle of the screen and keyframe. Cool. And so then this animation will play. Animations, play. Play animation, forward, start time, loops play 1. Let's just see how this looks. Oh. It's done that. Why has it done that? So if we go back to our designer and then close the animation, save. Why is it in the middle now? Because its translation is set to that, so if we set that back to 0, file save, right. Mathematically impossible. Mathematically possible still. You get 664, but if we get a 5, it's still mathematically possible. One more roll. If it's a 6, am I going to get it? No, 1. Failed. Interaction ends. Cool. Let's do a little bit of updating on the timings, because I think every time I test, if I have to wait these delays, I'm going to get very irritated, I think. So we play the animation, and let's say we delay now like 0.5 seconds, and then another 0.5 seconds there. Just so everything moves a bit faster for when I'm testing. If any of these roll like a 1, it'll just fail, which is good. 13, fail, gone. Great. Cool. That's everything off the to-do list done already. So let's start planning out our inventory system, I guess. Because the next interaction I'll do, although actually the interaction system, let's start writing some more to-do lists. So today's to-do, first I can just hide that because we're done for today. We just take all this and go. Oh no. So erase. Erase all that. So 1, we need to add locked in choices or interactions even. Interactions. Add single use choices. So these are choices like, if for example, if I came up, interacted, used this, did it, finished it, I wouldn't be able to re-interact and do it again. Because some of them, like, you might be able to do multiple times, some of them you might be able to do once. That's an important distinction. Add single use choices. Don't allow interaction with objects that have no valid choices. Feedback for if something is interactable. And these are the next key things just to make the game more playable. So for this, maybe do like UI element describing object, highlight when overlapping. And then don't allow objects. No choices. Check choices on interaction. I don't need to write that down. This one I'm not 100% sure on, because if, let's say, you have a box that has no valid choices but is interactable, should I be able to do this and then see, oh, they're both grayed out, I can't do that? Or would a player just be irritated by the fact that they walked all the way up to it and then they couldn't do it? Although cancel interaction no longer works. So why is cancel interaction no longer working? Because cancel interaction just does clear choice, end interaction. It doesn't enable the player. Find references, class member. Cool. So now if I go here and I click cancel, I can move again. So if I like walk up to it and I see, oh, there's no valid choices, but why have I walked all the way over to this thing? I have to cancel and walk off and do something else. Whereas if I can instead just highlight it and see, oh, it's called crate, but it's got like a red outline, so there's no interaction, so it's not interactable. Or if I can hover over it, and when I'm near it, it hovers like white, and then when I'm on top of it, it hovers green. Something like that? I don't know. Something like that I think is the way to go. I need to think about, like, if I go to here and I want to get out easily quickly, maybe I should just be able to click away. Maybe that's more annoying. Okay, that's all good. So that's the next steps. What are the thoughts I've been having? Are there any design thoughts I had that I want to think through? I think this is everything else that needs to happen right now to interactions and choices. Then the next set of jobs to be will be like inventory, which will probably have things like item data struct, item list, inventory on player, display inventory as grid. That's what I probably need to do at the moment. I'm not going to have you be able to like move items in your inventory. There's only going to be like a few items you ever pick up or use, and then I can start implementing these two systems together. So both being able to get items from interactions and also use items in interactions. Those are the two next things after I get all this done. Next to do, and then gain use items. ... Great. Well, I'm going to probably call it there. I've done a 4-hour stream, got some good things done. I'm really happy with how the choice system is coming along. I'll be working on like feedback and visuals later on, but at the moment I'm really happy with the back end. I think it's cool. I think it's pretty robust. And we're getting to the point where once I start working through these, once I get these systems done, it's probably going to just get started on mapping out all these interactions in the game. And then start thinking about art and feedback for those interactions. So yeah, very happy. Thanks for watching, and if you're not already, subscribe, and I will see you in the next stream. I'll probably be posting another video, long form video over the weekend or early next week, talking about iterative design and things that I think about when I'm working on games. So if you're interested in that, make sure you keep an eye out. Have a great evening or day wherever you are. Thanks for watching, Ash. I'll see you later.